What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate, reverse rants, no hate. So I dropped the video already. Shit is uploading. You know about the press conference between Wilder and Fury. Now let me address something real quick. Two things. It's not really serious anyway, but I just want to clarify something because it's too much to type. Okay. First off, let me just get this bullshit out the way first. First of all, to the idiots that responded to my comment that I made on another channel about the fight between Fury and Wilder, because Wilder's very quiet. I addressed you motherfuckers, and I know y'all watch the channel, but y'all don't say shit. So let me say this. First off, a motherfucker is pretty much accused of cheating and doing dirty shit. Okay? Doing shit that could have cost a man his life. A motherfucker did some shit, according to Wilder, right, that he should be in prison for. But then all of this talking and face to face, you come with this motherfucker and you have nothing to say. What kind of coward shit is that? I feel like this dude is easy for Fury to get in his fucking head. That's what I fucking think. And pretty much, where was all that fucking fire? Where was all that fire at? That was the whole point. That leading up to this shit, all this motherfucker was doing was talking. But you dick riding motherfuckers, only thing y'all know is to sit there and have to send somebody nuts all over your fucking lips, because y'all sitting up here talking about, oh, well, what's the purpose of having of talking? Fuck the press conference. Then why show the fuck up to the press conference? If you're going to sit there like a dumbass and not say anything, why show up in the first place? And like I said again, who the fuck is fighting Fury, Malik Scott or Deontay Wilder? See, this is the difference when a grown-ass man talks to little fucking boys. You guys just talk off your emotions. You probably got the pouty face with your bottom lip stuck out. Bottom line is, I'm not into motherfucking shit talking. But because Deontay is and had so much to say, this would be the perfect time to address that shit face to face. You talking all this shit to everybody else about what he had in his gloves and all this cheating he did and white privilege and all that, but you sit in front of him and all of a sudden have nothing to say. And Malik Scott is sitting there like a bitch, back and forth with this dude over what? You not fighting him. You just basically, hey, jump motherfucker. Ha, Deontay. That's all the fuck that is. Y'all dudes need to grow a set, and that's real talk. So when you come in here listening and hit thumbs down all that, I don't give a shit. But guess what? You motherfuckers are too stupid to be educated on anything, because all you do is talk with your feelings and emotions, and and what you don't understand is, if this man gets his ass whooped for a third time, all the excuses in the world is not going to change anything. Should he win the fight, what he does after that is what really is going to mean something. Because if you guys are all on this Logan Paul moral victory bullshit where you think that he can walk away saying, well, he gave it his best shot or whatever the fuck, and if he does win, do you fight AJ? Do you continue to fight top guys, or do you go back to fighting nobodies? Do you go back to fighting cherry picks and talking shit and pretty much giving junk fights that nobody care to see? This fight means nothing to us. It means something to you guys, because you guys are sitting there hoping and praying that he wins. So understand, because someone don't agree with your punk asses, so fucking what? You ain't gonna do shit about it but sit up and fucking type tough shit on the fucking keyboard any fucking way. That's all you motherfuckers are gonna do. Every one of you punk ass motherfuckers. So I'm letting you know right now, I'm not the kind of person, just like what I'm saying right now, if I was face to face with Wilder, Malik Scott, Tyson, Fury, or anybody, Aries would tell him, yeah, you acting like a bitch right now. And I'll break down every reason why to their fucking face. Unlike you motherfuckers. You guys are fans. I'm not a fan of anybody. So I got no problem hurting motherfuckers' feelings, and I got no problem with saying the truth and making motherfuckers understand. If you get it from me, you're going to get it straight. You get it from these other little bullshit channels where they want to sit up and cater to everybody. That's what they do. That's not what Aries do. This is a junk bullshit fight. You motherfuckers talking about all the proof that was there. The proof was this. And so, what proof? Y'all motherfuckers act like Wilder took him to court and won some fucking case. No, they just got a third fight going on. No, what happened to the dent in his fucking... Where'd the dent go? Yeah, what happened to the dent in his fucking on the left side of his head? Why is the fucking dent in there anymore? Where's the proof of that? But it was because of an egg weight, and the doctor knew this without even finding an egg weight, right? But the doctor just knew this. Oh, but there was a sparring partner who said, egg weight fell out of Fury's bag. This is the shit that you guys do. Okay? Bullshit. Now, another thing, and something more interesting to talk about, okay? Because a lot of people was talking to me about, the matchup with Joe Frazier and Tyson Fury. It wasn't about Joe Frazier and Tyson Fury. It was just basically I was weighing out, the opponents that Muhammad Ali had. It was basically because Malik Scott said Deontay Wilder is 10 times better than Muhammad Ali. So I'm looking at the people that Ali fought. I'm looking at the people that Wilder fought. What I did was I took the best people on his resume, and I took the best people from Ali's resume, and I matched everybody up with who I think would win in the match. Now, and to me, there's no wrong or right answer, really, basically, because it's not like we can prove this shit, and everybody has their own opinion. So I'm not trying to change anybody's opinion on what they think. I just want to make you guys understand something. Now, if you listen to the video, you notice I said if Tyson Fury fights smart, he should beat Joe. If you look at Joe Frazier's height, they got him listed at 6 feet. Fuck no. Joe was more like 5'11", 5'10". Joe wasn't no fucking 6 feet, man. Joe was a short guy. Joe had problems fighting Ali. Now, let me break this shit down because I want y'all to understand. He had problems fighting Ali, and he gave Ali problems, okay, because of his up and down, side to side style. But he's coming straight forward, but he's moving his, bobbing up and down. And, for Ali to time him, and Ali throws a lot of uppercuts, and Ali swings his shots wide when he throws those uppercuts, okay, and his hooks. But Ali's reflexes were still good. He can move, and his legs are still good. Tyson Fury versus Frazier would look nothing like Ali versus Frazier in my eyes. For one, Ali was making it a fight because even though Frazier was coming forward, look at the amount of punches Ali was throwing. So even when Ali was moving, and it was a lot of tactical chess playing going on with, Fury doesn't have that kind of speed like Ali, and he doesn't have that kind of punch output. Okay, nor that kind of accuracy. Where Frazier gives Tyson Fury problems is the same area he gave everybody problems. The bobbing up and down and coming forward, okay? But you guys got to factor in something. Like that's why I said if he fights Frazier smart, because we already know how Frazier's going to fight. Frazier fight everybody the same fucking way. The only time you seen Frazier try to really do something different is when he fought George Foreman in a rematch, because Foreman was hurting him, but he couldn't beat Foreman from the outside. So even he was trying to dance around and move. I guess he was just trying to make Foreman throw punches and miss and get tired, and then start to operate, middle to the later rounds, going in, but it didn't work out that way. So the only thing that happened in the second fight was he lasted longer than he did in the first fight. But Fury, okay, I don't believe Fury has, I think Joe could take Fury's punch for one. I just feel like with Fury, his size, he's 6'9". Now y'all gotta understand, when Joe Frazier, he's not gonna beat Fury from the outside. Impossible. He's not gonna do that. He has to get on the inside. Joe was relentless. He wasn't really fast on his feet. He was just relentless. He was just constantly coming forward. Fury's going to do that little herky-jerky shit, feint, throw a 1-2, maybe throw one punch at a time, move. What Fury's going to try to do against Frazier is move, and he's going to try to tie him up, and he's going to walk him down with all that weight. 274 pounds, 6'9", versus a guy 209 pounds, 208 pounds. You know what I'm saying? 5'10", 5'11", and walking him down and wearing him down with that weight. It's an ugly fight. It's one of those hold and hit, smother, walk back, throw punches off the break. He's not going to really commit the way Ali was committing. So I see it being a boring fight. I don't even see it being like an action-packed fight. I just feel like Joe is going to have problems getting past Fury's reach. Okay? Fury's going to move when he needs to. He's going to hold. He's going to throw, like I said, throw shots, use his weight, try to wrestle Joe around, and it's going to be an ugly fight. That's the way I see it. So when I say if he fights him smart, do I like the way Fury fight? No. But the way Fury fight with that, feint and how he, throw a shot, head move, and throw shots from the outside, it's going to be difficult for Joe to get in because his reach is so long and he's 6'9". Think about how tall Ali looked against Frazier. And Ali was 6'3". Fury's 6'9" and huge. It's a different fight. And as much as I'd be cheering for Joe to knock him the fuck out, I'm just being honest, y'all. It's not an easy fight for either guy. But if he fights him smart, there's no fucking way that I would train a 6'9" fucking fighter, 274 pounds, and he lose the motherfucker 5'11", 5'10". It's no fucking way. Fury has tools, but Fury is a boring fucking fighter, and we already know Fury's the kind of guy, he does a lot of antics and plan and do little shit. The way he beat up Deontay Wilder, it's not the worst ass whooping I've ever seen. It's not even one of the worst ass whoopings I've ever seen. It's just that he fucked Wilder up, and Wilder had no answers for the simple shit he was doing. He had nothing. After all this talk and all the expectations of the right hand, the way he beat Wilder was like, oh shit, do you see this shit? He fucked Wilder up. So that's what that was. But yeah, we seen Steve Cunningham drop Fury. We seen Otto Wallin give Fury troubles, who's not in the same caliber as a Joe Frazier. So like I said, in the comment section, if I was betting on that fight, I would be with Joe. That's who I want to win. What I'm saying about Fury fighting smart, there's no guarantee he's going to fight him smart. And Fury's arrogant, so Fury may try to do little dumb shit to try to show Joe up and do something and get caught. Steve Cunningham can punch, not like Joe. If Joe caught him with that same shot, shit, he probably wouldn't have got the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? But so we know Joe got the knockout power. We know Joe's going to come in. We know Joe's going to try to get to his body. But Fury's a big dude. And when you're fighting somebody that much bigger than you and then leaning on you and constantly, it's a different fight, man. But I'm not saying, oh, Tyson Fury definitely wins. Like I said, listen to what I said. I said, if he fights him smart, he should win that fight. I would go with Fury to win that fight if he fights him smart. Simple. Another thing I want to address. Oh, and listen, I love that kind of dialogue, man, because people are thinking we're talking about boxing, and at least we have something to actually talk about. Because what's going on in boxing right now is fucking disgraceful. Everything we're talking about is possible matchups that's happening. Oh, but he should be fighting him instead of him. Oh, well, if this is all we're getting back and forth with that. Look, you guys, Teofimo Lopez, he said that Tank is next. He didn't even fight Kambosos yet, but he's already going on record saying Tank is next. And then he turns around and he's talking about doing something else, fighting somebody else. And at that point, I just clicked off the video and started watching something else. Actually, I went out and took a jog, because this is what I'm getting from all these people. No, he's talking about Josh Taylor is next. Do you guys remember, at least like 2 weeks ago? I know it's not just me. I know what my 2 ears heard. Like 2 weeks ago, Teofimo Lopez said Tank Davis is next. He said Tank Davis is next, most definitely, no question. This came out of Teofimo's mouth. All of a sudden, the following week, he turns around and he's talking about Josh Taylor is next. So, you're undisputed at 135. So, are you going to go to 140? Or are you inviting Josh Taylor to come down? You guys are both undisputed. I'm hearing this talk, and it's like, you went from Ryan Garcia to Tank Davis, back to Ryan Garcia, back to Tank Davis, to Josh Taylor. Remember all that talk he did after he beat Lomachenko about how the best is going to fight the best now? This generation is going to be different. No more cherry picking and all that. Do you guys see any actual difference going on right now? When it comes to the very top guys, it's like you got to twist their arms to make them fight. Even for millions of dollars to be on the table, these guys still make every excuse to not fight each other. If these guys are not going to fight, and they're going to continue to, cherry pick, I'm going to be honest. I think Kambosos is a decent fighter, but I'm not even going to watch that fight. Not live. That's another fight. I might catch it somewhere on a replay or something or whatever. But I'm definitely not interested in that fight. As a fight, as someone who loves boxing, you try to support the sport and watch it. But it's just getting to a point now where people are just making fights that just don't make sense to me. And they can't give you any reason why these fights is not happening other than everybody is saying that everybody's ducking everybody. He's ducking me. No, you ducking me. No, you're ducking me. No, you're ducking me. Like, what are we, like, 8th graders, man? Like, it's crazy. So now Josh Taylor's in his sights. So I think it's safe to say maybe another 2 weeks it won't be about Josh Taylor anymore. Then it'll be about Terrence Crawford or somebody. It's always somebody different. Yet he hasn't even fought Kambosos yet. I've been watching a lot of UFC. I've been watching, MMA period. Listen, Claressa Shields. I watched her fight, and let me just break this down real quick. Claressa Shields held her own. She was basically loose. She lost her first 2 rounds. The chick she was fighting had more experience than Claressa, of course, and pretty much she's, had a height advantage, reach advantage. But Claressa was catching her with caught her with a couple of good shots in the first 2 rounds. But Claressa is, she's in MMA now. She wants to show what she learned. And, she was on top of Claressa. She got her to the floor. She took her down, but she wasn't doing anything. Even when she was throwing punches down, Claressa Shields didn't have a mark on her face. And this time, Claressa was, throwing punches from the bottom. Now, Claressa was having a problem getting back to her feet. She definitely lost those 2 rounds, the first 2 rounds. And she was poised. She was composed. She never, got crazy and looked like she was worried. Got sloppy and careless. And in the 3rd round, when she got on top of her, she kept pounding, kept punching, kept pounding, kept punching. The chick wasn't throwing back. Now, let me explain something to y'all. When you hear people saying, oh, Claressa should get back to her feet and do this and do that because they feel like that's the best chance she has of winning is making it a striking match. I agree. But guess what? She didn't get off her. She kept pounding, the ref stopped it. When they stopped the fight, she didn't get right up. That chick laid there for a while. Was laying there. She was hurt. Them punches was fucking her up. She was hurt. And people that tried to shoot Claressa down and, if she all that, fight Amanda Nunes. Well, why don't you guys put it like this, right? Why don't Amanda Nunes jump in the boxing ring and fight Claressa Shields first? Instead of getting experience as a boxer. Of course you don't put her in there with Amanda Nunes right now. Idiots. No, you don't do that right now. That's stupid. That's the people who want to see Claressa lose. Claressa Shields needs to fight more fighters that same caliber as the person she fought. And maybe now, what I'm looking at is this, right? Claressa losing those first 2 rounds, when she looked back at that fight, she's going to look at what went wrong, the mistakes that she made, and learn from that. And she's going to, work on trying to get back to her feet when she's, being taken down. If she would have lost, she would have just lost. But she kept putting it on, just kept punching, kept hitting the chick, and finally the ref just, okay. The chick was not responding. So for all the people saying, oh, they did that just so Claressa would win and all this bullshit. The funny thing was, when I watched the press conference, all the questions, every fucking question, that entire press conference, all the questions was to Claressa and her opponent. Mostly Claressa, but her and her opponent. They wasn't even talking to the other guys that was sitting up there. And, they headlined this thing. It was cool, man. I feel like, it's a learning experience. At least she's in there making something happen. She's doing something. She's not sitting back just being inactive. This is due to the dirty politics and dirty business in boxing that she's even doing in MMA. And the fact that she's doing both, she's showing you. She's making things happen for herself. Ronda Rousey did her MMA thing. When it fell apart, she went to WWE. She did some acting. She probably will never go back to the octagon. She don't have to. Gina Carano, would be before Ronda Rousey. She only had 4 fights. Cyborg retired her. She had a successful acting career, and she's still out there doing it. No need to go back. Claressa Shields is still in her prime. She's undefeated in boxing. She's undefeated in MMA. And if they promote her right and put her in the right position, she can, learn, get better, and become a real beast in MMA as well. And this is what, for her to be a true sport athlete, I think this is a beautiful thing for her. And I think that the way things went in that fight, nobody said she was supposed to go in there and dominate. This was her first fight, her first MMA fight. And like she said, it's different, man. She's used to throwing punches and getting punches thrown back, but now you got to deal with elbows, knees, kicks, people trying to take you off your feet, and she got the heart to go in there and do it, which is more than I can say for a lot of these other punk-ass boxers that pretty much scared to fight the other best fighters in the divisions. Claressa Shields is out here just, she's living her dream, man. She's doing things. I don't think she ever in her wildest dream thought she'd be doing MMA. But and like I'm telling you, she was losing those first 2 rounds. If she would have won the 3rd round, she probably, unless the judges would have robbed the opponent, Claressa would have lost because she was down 2 rounds. But like I said, even the chick that she was getting on top of Claressa, she wasn't doing anything. She just was holding her down. Claressa couldn't get up. She was putting no weight on her, and she was throwing punches and stuff, but she wasn't doing any damage. You know what I'm saying? But Claressa damaged her. The whole point is she got the win. This was only her first fight. We'll see her progress and how things go in the future. But I think that, it's a good learning experience for her, and the fact that she got the win, that's what's important. If she would have won it easy, Claressa seems dedicated, so maybe she wouldn't have let it go to her head. But if she would have won it easy, she might have let it go to her head to the point where she like, this MMA shit ain't nothing. It's easy. It's easy work. And then go in there and then get her head taken off by somebody because she underestimate people. But, like she said, I was so happy to see Randy Couture sitting there, and I told him I ain't James Toney. What James Toney did was embarrassed himself because James Toney didn't have any type of real MMA training. Wasn't in shape, went in there and made a fool out of himself and got his ass kicked. I mean, it's simple. So, Claressa did what she had to do. But the criticism and all that bullshit is going to be there because people just, they don't have anything better to do with their time. But Claressa Shields went in there and she held her own. Yes, she was losing the fight, but she won the fight. So I don't know why people keep bringing that up as if well, I do know why, because they wanted her to lose, which I don't care about all that. They wanted her to lose, and it's like, damn, man, she was that close to losing, man. So she got lucky, I guess, right? Call it what you want. Here's the reality. There's no rule that says you have to win by knockout. You could win by submission. You could win by somebody forfeiting. However, point is, Claressa Shields got the win. She still held her own because, in all honesty, most people, when they go from one sport to another late in their careers like that, when they're 26, 27 years old, it's different. It's different when you've been studying this stuff for years. You could see the basic things the chick was doing. She was giving Claressa. Claressa couldn't get up. She couldn't get up. She did a nice sprawl in that 2nd round to keep the chick from taking off her feet. And the thing was, when she engaged with the wrestling, the chick is a better wrestler than Claressa Shields. Bottom line. And Claressa Shields will if like I said, if they train her, manage her right, stay with her, push her the right way, she'll only get better. She'll only get better. Even if she has a loss, doesn't mean she can't develop. But I'm pretty sure she want to keep that O there. Push her the right way. Let her get her skills up. When she's ready to get in there with the very best competitors, that's when you put her in there. Not just because she has a big name. Not just because she's a boxing champion and she is drawing attention to the sport. Let her learn her craft. But, she did a good job, man. Regardless. She was losing, but she did a good job. Because let's just be real. We're talking about a female that has been around for a long time. They could have easily put Claressa in there with some newcomer. That they could have put her in there with somebody who this was their first fight as well. You understand what I'm saying? But they put in there with somebody that has experience. She may not be the best MMA chick out there, no. But compared to Claressa experience-wise, no, she got a ton of experience over Claressa Shields. But Claressa got she got the stoppage. And that's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.